Good morning class, welcome to your daily current affairs on paper Hindu. So let's go with today's articles. Yes. So one of the major articles today, India's population on edge ahead of China by mid-2023. So ahead of China by mid-2023, we will cross China with our India's population, and our demographic dividend is very huge. So India's population projected to reach 142.86 crores against the China's population of 142.57 crore. Contrary to the alarm bells, the population trends point to slower growth and aging societies, says report, and the family planning targets can lead to gender bias discrimination. These are the outcomes of the particular report, and the major outcome was that by mid-2023, our population will take over China. So yes, India is set to overtake China to become world's most populous country by the mid of 2023 according to United Nations, and the India's population is expected to reach 142.86 crore against China's 142.57 crore, as shown all these in the data. So who is given this particular data? World's Population Report, UN World's Population Report 2023 of UN Population Fund. This is the one which has been given this particular report, and it is also mentioned that because of this family planning operations and all, because of family planning, the UN is against this family planning, stated that it may lead to gender bias, right? Next article. Have informed states of same-sex marriage hearing, government tells Supreme Court. So the center on Wednesday informed the Supreme Court that it has returned to chief secretaries of states, because yesterday, as we have seen in the news, they have clearly mentioned, who Solicitor General has mentioned that marriage is the concurrent list, and if at all we have to come up with a particular law on marriage, we have to consider opinion of state government too, because they have their own marriage acts, individual state marriage acts. So definitely we need to consider their opinion, and then we have to come to frame this particular, to at least legalize this particular same-sex marriage. That is what they have told. In that case, Supreme Court has told that we have already contacted, so we have already sent a written, so we have written to, that means we have written different letters or addressing these secretaries on the possibilities of same-sex marriage to be heard in Supreme Court. So what they have done, they have told that we will be hearing this case or in Supreme Court regarding same-sex marriage to all the states which have this marriage act, and currently Supreme Court has told that yes, creating law or legalizing same-sex marriage is completely under the hands of Parliament, we agree, but at the same time what we are trying to do is, we are trying to examine the chances of how far we can add or how far we can make the Special Marriage Act gender neutral. And also in the other article, there is a continuation article of this, in which Supreme Court has told that yes, government is alleging that same-sex marriage is an urban elitist view and not the rural people view. Rural areas still the people agree with only heterogenic marriages, that means the opposite sex marriage but not the same-sex marriage. That is what the government has mentioned. The Supreme Court has told that you haven't produced any kind of data regarding the same. So you haven't given us any proper data on this. So you are just merely addressing that yes, it is only urban elitist view and not the ruralist view. And also government has told that this gender or sexual orientation is an innate phenomena and it is not something which is forceful, and because of this particular kind of genders, it is not under control, so which is not under the control of that particular human being, then levying restrictions on that is not fair. That is what our Supreme Court CJI Mr. Chandrachud has mentioned, right? So he has mentioned that the sexual orientation is an innate characteristic over which the individuals have no control, and hence the state cannot discriminate against them. As they don't have control, discriminating against it is not correct. That is what Chandrachud has mentioned. Next. So this is the continuation which I have also discussed, so you can just go through this particular article, the same thing which I have discussed now. So discussing MOU with India for training cooperation on electric propulsion, says UK CDS. Currently, UK is trying to have a proper relation with India. So it is trying to form a memorandum of understanding with respect to training, where each other countries, especially UK, will train India on electric propulsion in maritime security. Electric propulsion technology in maritime technology. In that place, this CDS of UK, they are trying to have a relation with India, have an MOU with India on which they can train our Indians. So they are trying to work on it, that is all. So once this is being finalized, we will further discuss about it, right. Next, Rajnath wants disengagement, de-escalation process over Ladakh, standoff to continue. So this comes with the backdrop of renaming of certain places in Arunachal Pradesh by China with their own Chinese names. Then Rajnath Singh has mentioned that, who is our Rajnath Singh? He is our defense minister. He has mentioned that the ongoing talks between India and China for peaceful resolution of the standoff in eastern Ladakh will continue, and the best way forward is disengagement and de-escalation. So what are we working on? Peaceful settlement. What are we focusing to resolve the issues with China is that we are trying to make it disengage from our boundary and also de-escalate this particular matter. So risk factor in this particular areas are being reduced. Next. Yes. So what Rajnath Singh has mentioned is we should definitely focus upon this peaceful activity. It is our whole of government approach to ensure availability of best weapons and equipment, clothing to our troops and braving extreme weathers and hostile forces to defend our territorial integrity. So what they have mentioned is that to ensure the territorial integrity, we are also equipping our own security, our own army with necessary infrastructure. That is what our Rajnath Singh Defence Minister has told, and in the meanwhile we will discuss with China on what are the possible conditions to peaceful disengagement and de-escalation in eastern Ladakh. That is what they talked about, eastern Ladakh. Fine. Next, in the LAC region. Okay. Next. So Union Cabinet gives nod for 6,003 crore quantum mission, very important for your SNT. And so as per the budget, the estimation amount for the budget of quantum computing technology. So investment on quantum computing technology by this budget is 8,000 crore, in which currently they have released gave nod for 6,003 crore for quantum computing machine. So what they are going to do, they are going to invest it in R&D development of quantum computing. So understanding the elements and behavior of atom, not elements, the properties of atom, how it is being functioning. For that you use quantum computing. So in that case we are investing a lot, because most of the topmost countries usually have this technology. So India is again trying to enter into this particular arena. So quantum computers can work several times faster than the speediest machines of today and facilitate secure communication networks. So because of its able to study the atomic properties, the level of speed of this particular computers is also very high when compared to other computers. So speediest machines can also be obtained by investing into quantum computing technologies. So it gave a nod. And what are these quantum computers? Quantum computers are a work in progress globally. So currently it is still the upcoming technology. It hasn't been fully established, at least to some extent. So it is a work in progress globally and exploit properties of the atom which are only explainable by the principles of quantum mechanics. So it is example. So it can be explained through quantum mechanics. And what is this? It tries to analyze the properties of atom. So exploit, analyze the properties of atom, which can further increase the speed of the current technology. Fine. So the mission was budgeted at 8,000 crore and currently center has given nod for 6,003 crore. So in budget 23-24, the allocated budget is 8,000 crore. And in the same regard, they are trying to establish 4 thematic hubs in which they have top academic and R&D institutes on the domains of quantum computing. So 4 thematic hubs in which they will set up topmost academic institutions, a research and development wing with the names of quantum computing. So first areas would be quantum computing, next quantum communication, and quantum sensing and meteorology, and quantum materials and devices. In all these 4 thematic properties, they will be in thematic hubs, T hubs, which will be established into topmost educational institutes. So courses will be available for educating into that particular themes in that particular areas. Okay, so that is about this particular article. Next, so again they've given how this particular quantum engineering would help. So they've mentioned that the mission will develop the magnetometers with high sensitivity in atomic systems, atomic clocks for precision timing, communications and navigation. So again, it can be used for security or for common purposes. It has vast number of applications. Fine. Next. Right now only 6 countries in the world have that technology, and India is trying to get into it. Next, FSSAI needs an energy shot to regulate processed food. So to regulate processed food, FSSAI has given nod, and in that particular thing, what it has trying to do, it is trying to regularize this processed food. So this comes on the backdrop of they have mentioned one particular story where a social media person through his Instagram or something, they have criticized Bournvita, stating that it has huge sugar content than the required amounts, which was not being mentioned in the package. So what FSSAI is trying to take decision is about, the FSSAI has been discussing the possibility of front of pack labeling. That means the package which you have in the front, they are trying to label with what are the contents that are available inside that. If it is more than the required level, how much is the fat percentage, everything needs to be mentioned in front of that particular package. So according to this particular this particular rule, brands need to put a notification indicating if a food was high in fat, sugar and salt, because in India the diabetic people are increasing, and people with blood pressure are increasing in that case, and also with fat. So in that case, FSSAI is taking norms to showcase a front labeling so that it will indicate the sugar content, salt content or fat content, how much is the level of fat present in that particular item, food item. So the labeling would allow consumers to make informed choices. So once for all, if we are able to see, it will give the consumer to analyze the particular product if it is consumable or not based on their health condition. That is what FSSAI is trying to come, and they've issued one draft, and still they are working upon draft notification for this particular on front of packaging labeling, that proposed Indian nutritional rating. So that was proposed, it proposed that as a national nutritional rating. The health rating system for analyzing packaged food will assign a half a star least healthy to 5 stars based on healthy. So similar to your fridge or AC, you have star rating 5 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars. In the same way, even the food item based on these constraints, they will be given a rating system for this food. That is what FSSAI is trying to come up. They are trying to regularize what is the food that is available, the processed food that is available in the market, right? Next. So earlier we have seen that further the OPEC plus countries including Russia, they have again started cutting down their productions of oil. In that case, we have got one article earlier stating that India is likely to impose again, it is trying to reback or reimpose this windfall taxation on oil prices. Right now that is what happened. Government again reintroduced this windfall taxation on oil. So the government has brought back the windfall profit tax on domestic crude oil after international prices firmed up, while the levy on export of diesel has been cut to nil. That means exporting of diesel has been cut to nil, but rest all the crude oil, domestic crude oil, whatever the production that is happening, that is being produced, for all these they will be levying on profits a windfall taxation. So according to the official order, so that is what official order came, the levy on crude oil is now 6,400 rupees per barrel. That is the total thing that you need to understand. Earlier during April 4th, they have completely reduced this windfall taxation to 0, and now because of the announcement of Russia and OPEC plus countries for cutting down of production of oil prices, again it may reap some adverse benefits to these companies, oil companies in India. To check that, to establish this economic distribution, government again started implementing windfall taxation on oil profits, crude oil profits. Yes. Yes, these are explanatory articles, are not important for today. Yes. So that's it for today. So we'll meet in another session and we'll discuss more and more articles. Thank you for the session. Good day.